What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the DD Lifestyle, where we chit chat about all things faith, fashion, and lifestyle. So, today I wanted to talk to you about purpose, one of my favorite topics. So listen, I did an IG live talking about purpose with my girl Michaela Belle. If you don't know who she is, I encourage you to look her up. She is an amazing woman of God, and she's called to women, helping women, cultivating relationships, all of that good stuff. But we teamed up and we talked about purpose. We spoke about being fearful, being overwhelmed, and being equipped with what you already have to do what you're called to do. So I wanted to share with you guys our conversation that we had because it's amazing, and I believe that it will bless you. Take a look.
This is the crazy thing to me, you have everything you need
In this very moment.
right
You
now.
have it. You
And
have it.
I think that's what holds us back too, is we're like, well, maybe when I get this skill, or maybe, when I learn how to do this or meet this person, or when I get into this, mastermind or whatever. But all those things help, and I think can cultivate it.
Right.
But you already have it.
You already have it. You already, and that's what's so amazing about God. It's like, if He calls you to do something, He's already equipped you to do it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And like I said to you before, he gives us the what, and we're always trying to figure out the how. And that's what stops us, trying to figure out how. And it's like, no, if He told you this is what I want you to do, once you say yes, then the how, He will begin to show you how.
Yes.
We're trying to figure out the how in the beginning.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no. I need to know, and you need to know that you're going to even step out and do it. Because if I show you the how, that might scare you and stop. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That might halt you right there.
Yep.
Because you're probably thinking like, how? Like, if He showed you, and you're going, how am I going to do that?
Yeah.
You already feeling like you don't have what it takes right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, whoa. So it's like, God is so intentional. It's like, if you just trust and believe in Him, oh my goodness. And that's not easy.
It's not
easy.
It's not for sure.
It's something we say all the time. Just trust God, trust and believe God. But when you're in the midst of something, and you're seeing what you see right here, and not what's big. It's so hard.
Yeah,
it's a challenge, and that's why it's so good to be anchored in God and your faith, because you'll have these moments, but then you'll remember, nope, God's got me.
Yeah,
I can do all things. You know what I mean? Girl, we're getting started.
Well, the one thing that just made me think of is like, do you ever, because both of us asked on our IG stories, like, for some of the struggles that you guys have with either discovering your purpose or walking in your purpose. And a lot of people said, I'm just looking at all the comments and stuff that I got, of all the possibilities, or being overwhelmed with like the bigness of purpose. And so one of the things this is something that I struggled with, and I'll just share with you a few things that have really helped me. So I am a big thinker, and I've always been that way. It's like a gift that God has given me, is my vision, my imagination, and things. So when he gave me this little peek into what my purpose is, I was so excited and at the same time terrified. And I think we often live in these two worlds, all the time. And I'm talking about like every area of your life. Like, I'm single. I'm a single woman. I probably should have shared that earlier, but I was married, and I kind of walked off of my graduation stadium or whatever, and walked into my wedding dress and got married. And I had there were all the red flags of all different kinds of manipulation, control, emotional abuse, all that kind of stuff. But anyways, so kind of coming into that, and when I went through my divorce, my daughter was 1. So becoming a single mom and having to like fight this fight on your own, there's a lot of challenges within that. We all experience challenges. We all struggle. Like, we all have that in common. Our struggles just are labeled differently.
Right.
But anyways, so I was feeling so overwhelmed in my life, and God had kind of shared this thing with me, and I just thought, it's too big for me to handle right now. And he used to always tell me, he still does, like, but you don't have to handle the bigness like I do. He goes, you have to do today. Like, you just have to do today. And so whenever you get overwhelmed by all the possibilities or like the bigness of your purpose, I think just remembering that, like, God just calls you to be faithful with a little.
Yeah.
Faithful, I think, is it Luke 16:10, where it talks about what you do with little is what you'll do with a lot.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Right? And so just sometimes when I am overwhelmed by my own ambition, I kind of have to turn around and say, okay, what's the seemingly insignificant small thing I can do today? What's next? What's the next best step for me? And that always helps me shift my perspective to the moment.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, does anything ever help you with being overwhelmed by all the possibilities?
Yes, because I'm a thinker too. I'm an overthinker, and I'm a perfectionist. So, that sometimes
all the good things.
It needs to be like a balance there, but sometimes that can stop me.
Yeah.
But what I like to do, I like to tell a lot of, the women that I work with, when you have this big vision, this big dream, this big goal, like you said, you have to work at that little by little, because that big thing will definitely scare you. You know what I mean? Because you're like, how am I going to get this done? When am I going to get this done? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like you said, working that thing, breaking it down, and just doing little by little. Every step counts. Every little thing counts. I always tell people, don't discredit that little thing that you did today, because it got you one step closer to the goal. You know what I mean? It's not about trying to get everything done at one time, because that's when all the frustration and all the unnecessary anxiety, frustration, and fear begins to come, because we're overthinking, feeling like we have to have it done by a certain time, please this certain person, and you know what I mean? What is somebody going to say or whatever like that? And it's like, no. First of all, this thing is between me and God. This walk that he has us on, and he's just using us to bless the people along the way. But if we're not right, how are we gonna bless the people that we're encountering on our path? You know what I mean? If we're like all overthinking, and oh my God, that thing would literally stop us from doing this, from getting it done.
When it comes to purpose, I think we think it's going to be this like shiny, pretty, very polished thing. And sometimes it's your problems. Like, God told me a couple years ago, Michaela, your problems one day will be your platforms.
Yes.
And the very things that I was struggling in and through are now the things that I'm helping women through. Because I know what I wish I would have done different. And I know I wish I would have loved myself a really long time ago.
Yeah.
And, and practically did that really well. So just know that, like, sometimes your gift is actually wrapped in fear.
Yeah.
I love speaking. It's one of the things that is definitely a huge part of my purpose. And my junior year of college, I set up a meeting with my college advisor, and I tried to convince her that I didn't need public speaking to graduate college. I was like, there is no reason. My major is sign language interpreting. I'm going to be the silent girl in the corner of the room for the rest of my life. Like, why would I need that? But I was so afraid to speak in front of more than like one person, like terrified. I would sweat. I would like fumble over my words. Nice. I was a hot mess. And now it's the thing that I do. You know, it's like one of the things that I stand on. It is a gift of mine, but it was so wrapped in fear that I didn't think it was my gift.
That's good that you said that, because just like Moses, when he's like, God, like, I stutter, like I'm not a good speaker. Yeah. And that is me to the T, girl. Like sweaty palms, like stomach bubbling, like all types of stuff. And I'm like, and now it's something I do. I love. I'm not a big talker. I'm a woman of few words. But it's like God is using this now. Yeah. Something that I was so fearful to do. I would never speak it in front. I remember in college too, I had a public speaking class, and I'm like, what? The teacher would have us read out of the textbook out loud, and I'm just like, why? And now I'm like, I wish I would have paid more. I wish I would have took that more serious. Never knew that I would be doing something like this. You know what I mean? And it's like, God will use that thing that we feel inadequate, we feel is not good enough, so now we have to depend on Him. Yes. It's like, oh, this is that area I'm going to use, because when I use this, you're going to have to call on me for help, for strength. You know what I mean? Yes. Amen, He's so intentional, so strategic. And I want women, whoever is watching, if they are struggling with whatever, it's like, no, that's what God wants to use. He wants to use every thing, every being, every part of you for Him to get the glory, to bless somebody else. So that thing that you may not be feeling good enough in, or you know, you feel like you can't do it, it's like, no, that's what He wants. That's it. That's that thing that He's going to use. And you're going to be so surprised when He used that, and then you're going to love it. Like, I love it. It's like, I can't believe, like, I know. I like doing this now. Like, I don't even like talking that much. It's like, sometimes it's like, when it's a certain thing, you can't get me to shut up. It's like, where did this come from? So guys, I hope you love that conversation. Y'all know, I am an advocate for discovering your purpose and walking that thing out. And it's a journey. It is a process. We have this life that we're going to live. Your purpose is going to change and evolve just as you are as a person. But it is so important and so crucial that you are anchored in God and in your faith, so that He will reveal to you what your purpose is, so that you will discover what it is that He's calling you to do in life, in every stage, every area, every season that you're in. So if you have not already, I encourage you to subscribe to the DD Lifestyle, and also follow me on social media, DominiqueDanielle_DD, and shout with me too, y'all. Y'all know every time I come on here, I'm rocking something Dominique Danielle. So subscribe, like, all that good stuff, and I'll see you again soon.